Greek philosopher Plutarch said, "Nothing is harder to direct than a man in prosperity, nothing more easily managed than one in adversity," meaning prosperity in itself actually has always been blind and unconscious. Success and growth also have always had their own limitations, weaknesses, and insecurities that the person obviously falls into and becomes a victim to, because the person always wants success, prosperity, and growth in his lives under all circumstances and situations, no matter what. And that's why he also becomes very easy victims and preys to prosperity itself. Now, the man in prosperity, or the prosperous man, actually has almost always been found to be blind and unconscious and ignorant and unwise and unintelligent and so on and so forth, because as I mentioned earlier, prosperity makes men blind, and they just then start acting with ignorance, arrogance, frustration, and superiority, supremacy, and all the other negative feelings and aspects and conditions that they don't actually have in reality, and that don't actually apply to them on the basis of their character, authenticity, morality, virtue, discipline, maturity, education, etc. But still, prosperity is so much powerful and toxic and complicated that it makes the man blind to his character, perception, outlook, interaction, and actions in one way or another, even though he has a lot of intelligence, education, knowledge, experience, and morality about himself. But still, prosperity has overwhelming influence over all of us, and it determines a lot of our character, behavior, and action in one way or another. Prosperity and success almost exert paramount influence over all of us and has unbelievable significance over our actions, behaviors, interactions, relationships, even though we just don't want to acknowledge it because we're unwilling to see the downsides and the evils that prosperity always involves about itself, because we want prosperity in everything that we do and that we attempt in our lives. But the one in adversity has absolute character, wisdom, morality, integrity, alongside distinction, authenticity, individuality, and sovereignty, and it does not needs to be managed by anyone, because he knows he is wise, critical, and rational, and he also knows what he needs to think, what he needs to say, and what he needs to